of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
This is a Preble Town Board meeting, special meeting agenda for September 29th, 2025. Town of Preble notice of town board meeting. Please take notice that a special board meeting will be held by the Town of Preble Town Board on Monday, September 29th, 2025 at 7 p.m. at the Preble Town Hall, Preble, New York, to consider enactment of local law number 3, 2025, regulating wind energy conversion systems. Don, can we start this off with a summary of this local law?
Sure. We're having the special meeting because the time period for our moratorium prohibiting wind energy systems development expires the middle of November. So in order to position the town board to be able to enact a regulation addressing wind energy conversion systems, we're having this special meeting because in order for the board to be able to enact this proposed regulation, if it finds it to be acceptable, we would need to be able to act on this 2 weeks from today at our regular November meeting. Well, in order to do that, we need
October meeting, right?
Regular October meeting, thank you. In order to do that, we need to refer this to county planning for their review and recommendation. Actually, it would be the eventual enactment would be in November,
Okay.
at the November meeting, because we would still beat that November 16 date.
Mhm.
But at our October meeting, we need to have a public hearing. So we need to pass a resolution tonight to have a public hearing at the October meeting. We need to pass a resolution to refer the matter to county planning, and we need to conduct a seeker. So there's 3 things that we need to do. I know that the planning board, our planning board, has been diligently working on this. They met last Wednesday. This version, if you will, is a result of their efforts. And I guess, I don't know if the planning board members wish to speak at all, but that's what this is a result of. In terms of summary of this particular proposed local law, to me, it seems to be in three sections. The one main section are a set of regulations that would apply to a small wind energy conversion system, which is a system that would generate enough electricity for, I would say, my term, like home use or home farm use. In other words, the intent would be that that system would generate enough electricity, not designed primarily to sell electricity to the public utilities, but rather to cover the electric consumption at that location. So that's the main body of this local law. The second part is a prohibition, and it's a prohibition against wind energy systems that fall between the home system, which I just described, and the 25 megawatt system that probably everyone in this room is familiar with that cutoff. So this prohibits any such systems of that magnitude. The third piece is the 25 megawatts and over, and it basically is an acknowledgement that systems of that size are regulated and handled by the state, and we as a local town have very little to say about those size projects. The other thing, just in particulars, is I think about what this local law does. As to the regulation, those that have read this note that there are certain zoning districts where those small wind energy conversion systems are allowed, and there are several districts where they are not allowed. Most notably, I think the R1 and R1L, these sorts of systems are not allowed there. They're allowed, I think, in ag, industrial, and commercial. That's where they're allowed, and that's where they're regulated. So that's the, kind of the overall summary. So there's not, the town board is not taking action on the law tonight. The town board has it in front of it, and if it wants to move it ahead, then we need, we need motions to have a public hearing at our October meeting to refer the matter to county planning, and we don't have to, but we can conduct the seeker, which we've got the forms in front of everyone here tonight.
Okay.
So-
I want to open up to the board here. I assume everybody read this document. So do you have any questions on this document? Go ahead, Mike.
Yeah, we got a couple on.
Mhm.
So on page 2, on B, it says the proposed tower height does not exceed the height recommended by the manufacturer. And then down the next 1.3 and C, it says they can't exceed 125 feet. So which one is it? It should be
I think it's
one
both.
or the other.
It's
right?
at the 125 sets an absolute maximum.
Okay.
Anything under that would be subject to the recommendations by the manufacturer.
Okay. You could just put not to exceed 125 feet the first recommendation, right? And then it'd be clear to everybody that they recommend 130 feet. They're okay under that section, but if it's over 125, so they're not okay in the next section.
Right.
So,
We can do that.
and page 4, 1.5C talks about conducting low profile studies or assessments. Is that whose cost is that? Okay, go ahead.
You're talking about 1.5C.
Yep.
It says here it's at the sole expense of the system owner.
Okay.
If you'll read it in that first sentence.
Oh, okay. I see that right there. Yep. Yep. Okay. And my other question was about what you just explained about the breakdown of the size of the system, 25 megawatt versus, and this says megawatt, not kilowatt.
It's
So,
megawatt.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay. So you explained that, so it doesn't apply to the energy project that's going, or that Palmer's currently conducting in Tully and Tisco.
Yeah.
They're above that 25
Yeah.
kilowatt or megawatt. Yeah. Okay.
Right. So if you had that size project, again, the state pretty much runs that.
Right.
But in 2.3, it says large wind energy conversion systems are prohibited. But in 2.1b, it says it is in control. The state is in control of it. But then in 2.3, it says they're prohibited.
Right, but I think we got a definition on that, don't we?
Definition of that.
That describes it as being
Before
under
that.
the 25 megawatt.
2.1A.
Under-
Section applies to all large wind energy conversion systems as defined as
Up to
anything up
Up to
25 megawatts.
Okay.
That is
And-
used for commercial production of electricity.
Oh, yeah.
So it's
Okay.
two parts to that
Yeah,
definition.
yeah, okay.
Any other questions by the board? Okay, if no other questions, then we want to refer this on to county planning. We need a motion to refer this to county planning. In order to move this forward.
I make the motion over to county planning.
I'll second it.
All in favor?
I
Carried. Okay, Don, what next?
And then we need a motion to have a public hearing.
Okay, we need a
Which-
motion to have a public hearing. I would say, it's October 13th. At-
Yeah.
Should we make it 6:30 or 6:45? I don't know how many people are going to come out and ask questions. I think 6:45 would be fine.
So we need a motion to that effect.
So we need a motion to have a public hearing on October 13th before our regular board meeting at 6:45.
so move.
Second.
All in favor?
Hey,
Carried. Okay. What next, Don?
Well, if you want to take up the seeker review now, we
We
can.
might as well do that now.
We would need a declaration that we are the lead agency first. So we could have that in a motion form, please.
So we need a motion for the Preble Town Board to be lead agency.
For the
And-
seeker review of this proposed local law 3.
So moved.
Need a second?
go ahead.
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Hey,
All right.
Carried. Okay, where do we start, Don? What page?
Well, part 1, if you want to just review it, Jim, because it's a proposed local law, part A and B are what are filled out.
Mhm.
So you'll see that it refers to, obviously, local law 3 of 2025. It's a local law providing regulations, restrictions, and standards for wind energy conversion systems. The name of the sponsor, it's the town of Preble. And it gives information regarding the town on the first page. The second page, as far as governmental approvals, yes, we have to refer this to county planning. It has been worked on by town planning, but those are not approvals. It's a recommendation from our local planning board of this version. And then the referral to county planning, again, is for their review and recommendation. So you'll see everything's checked no, but for the town board as far as required approvals on this proposed local law. Again, it's there's questions here about the town having a comprehensive land use plan. We do. That we believe this is consistent with that land use plan. Is the site of proposed action within any local or regional special planning district, greenway, and I guess it's we are within the major basin of the upper Susquehanna, so that is answered yes. Is the proposed action located wholly or partially within an area listed in an adopted municipal open space plan? The answer to that is no. So page 3, is the site of the proposed action located in a municipality with an adopted zoning law? Of course it is. Is the use permitted or allowed by a special or conditional permit? Yes, because that is part of this proposed local law. Is the zoning change requested as part of the proposed action? it is a zone change, if you will, because it's a regulation of these sorts of systems. It asks for community services. It refers to being within the Homer School District. I guess we could include Tully School District as well, right? Because that
We should include Tully.
so we can include that. And it refers to the county sheriff, New York State Police, as far as services there. The fire protection refers to Preble Fire District, and parks within the area, the Preble Town Park and the Dwyer Park. That, I think, is the balance of part one. Where we're at now.
Okay, so nothing else is filled in.
Right. So, unfortunately, my staff did not give me the balance of this. So I think we're gonna have to hold off completing this until subsequent to the planning board, the public hearing on the 13th. But that's part one, and that's the start of this review.
Okay, so would we do this during a regular meeting or before the,
We would do it during the regular meeting.
okay. So we can pick up where we left off tonight?
Yep.
Okay.
So that's really the balance of the action we need to take tonight.
Okay. So just to review, we're gonna have a public hearing at 6:45 on October 13th before a regular meeting. And does anybody else have any other business to bring up before the board? Jen, you have anything that you want to talk about?
I don't have anything, no,
Okay.
thank you.
Okay.
I have an item.
Well, we didn't open it up for public hearing, public comment yet, but we will, as long as the board doesn't have anything. Okay, so we'll open it up for public comment then. Go ahead.
My name's Sean Curry. I represent my grandmother, Eleanor Curry. She's in her mid-90s. She can't be here tonight. But I'd like to speak to some of the political signs that are around town. We have some that were put on our property. No one asked us permission. I've taken them down and I've brought them here tonight to return them. So we asked that we brought them back here to return to you.
Okay. There's a lot of people putting out a lot of signs, and, you know, I don't know who puts out what signs. But we'll go through them and take a look at them.
I also have some signs that were returned that were brought to me by Curry Valley Farms,
Mhm.
Cobblestone Valley Farms,
Mm-hmm.
and Nate Shirley's property. All these I've asked permission to put signs up, and to have permission.
Mhm.
And the argument is that, well, they're in a right of way, and you can't put them in a right of way. It's against the law. And I've got the signs here to return tonight. I would have brought them to your house, but I don't need any problems, so we're doing it here in
Shouldn't be any
public.
problems.
Well, you say that, but
I'm an easy person to talk to.
okay.
Just call me.
Well, they need to ask permission.
Yeah, okay. Like I said, there's a lot of people putting out a lot of signs and they don't always understand these things.
Right. Well, it's kind of your job. It's your sign. So we've also put out a plea to our people, quit taking your signs down. I don't want to deal with
That would
this.
be appreciated.
I don't want to deal with this,
Mhm.
but they need to ask permission.
Because there are signs at the four corners of Preble. One organization has all their signs up and they pull down all the signs of the opposite organization.
That I was asked to stop.
And if that continues, I'll just go to the Board of Elections to file a complaint about that. You know,
Well,
but,
that's likewise, and
Yeah.
they do need to ask permission. They can't just put up a sign randomly and claim that it's in a public right of way, because that's not legal. We do have, you guys would like these.
okay, I think there should be some open communication, which is what's going on right now,
Yep.
and that's good.
This is the law, the way it's written. The one I've put on each one of the signs where they came from
Mm-hmm.
and the people that gave them to me.
Okay.
The only one it's not is from Nate Shirley because I forgot to put his name on one. It's probably addressed as Curry Valley Farms.
Mm-hmm.
You can go talk to him, but I'm pretty
Yeah.
sure you're not gonna get permission.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Now, anything like this, we're open for discussion, so please come to us and let us know which you are right now.
well,
And that's
and
good.
we'd appreciate it if they leave our signs up because they are there with permission. Anytime you see one of our signs, it's with permission
Mhm.
because that's the rules. that we follow.
Okay.
So,
Okay, very good.
and the land that Foley's once owned, that Kate Edgar owned, is now owned by Curry Valley Farms.
Okay.
So it's no longer Kate's. And you can't assume just because they're Democrats that you can put a sign up there.
Carol?
Would you explain the 40-day rule about posting signs?
From what I understand, in our zoning code, there's a 40-day rule that if there's an event like an election, you can only put signs up 40 days prior to that election.
So the signs have to come down 40 days after the first day they were.
No, the signs have to come down right after the event. But the signs should not go up until 40 days before the event. No.
Are there any repercussions for signs that have been up prior?
Not that I know of.
Well, on the, right here it says that they can go up common miles 30 days to 60 days before the election. A few days thereafter. Then they have to come down typically within 5 days after the election.
Mhm. Okay, so I think we should all be careful.
And I do believe that they're not supposed to be on any of the town of Preble property or state property.
Okay. We all need to be considerate of where we put our signs.
If they want to return the signs they took down, they can leave them at my place.
Okay.
Appreciate it.
Yes, Kathy?
We have some on Song Lake Road, some signs that are lit up, and I don't think that they're allowed to be lit up. Can you comment on that?
I believe the zoning code says that no lighting, extra lighting should be used on temporary signs. Anybody else? Anything?
I just like to tell the planning board, we appreciate all your hard work and people don't
Yeah.
really know how much time that you put into this.
Mm-hmm.
And it's, we appreciate it very much.
Mm-hmm.
You did most of it.
Especially
Yes.
Glad to be of service.
Yeah.
Peter, thank you very much for your talent, your service, and your
Yeah,
time.
thanks a lot for all your work.
Yeah. Anybody else? Yes, Dave?
Just going back to the wind energy stuff
Uh-huh.
for a minute. I've heard rumors that the Palmer Energy Group that has the outline for the plan for the Tully and Altisco Valley also might have some plans for some on Song Mountain, so in Cortland County and south of Song Mountain Road,
Mhm.
up on the mountain. But I've just heard rumors of this, but I've heard it a couple times. Do you know anything about this at all?
We have not received any application for wind turbine construction at all. Rick Fritz would receive that first, and then he would notify me, and we have not heard anything like that.
Corinne? Yeah.
It's my understanding, if it's Palmer related, they don't have to submit anything to you. That is all, as you said, under ORAS. And that being said, I think I was kind of disappointed, and honestly, I haven't read the other towns, and they probably have it as well, that we're kind of rolling over saying that we acknowledge that if they're over a certain size, that ORAS in the state automatically have jurisdiction. I mean, they're taking away our ability to self-rule and home rule rather. And it was my understanding that the towns, or Lafayette, working with Ben Rositsky, the lawyer from Rochester, that he's having, suggesting to the towns that we establish these rules to put up roadblocks and bumps in the road for Palmer to make it more difficult, because ORAS is gonna they're gonna file their application and, the towns and they have to look at what the town regulations are, but then they can say, well, they're burdensome. So, we really want to go ahead with our project. So as ORAS, can you say they're burdensome and we can ignore it? But if we're rolling over saying that we're acknowledging that we have no jurisdiction, I think it's kind of useless to write this. But I mean, did the other towns have that same part in there?
I can tell you that the town of Lafayette
Mhm.
passed recent legislation last fall,
Mhm.
and there's large energy wind energy conversion systems, their definition from anything from up to the 25 megawatts, they
Mhm.
have a lot of standards. They allow it in their current law.
Up to those.
Up, yeah. So whereas this law prohibits anything up to 25. Lafayette's law allows it with a whole bunch of regulations and
Mhm.
standards and restrictions similar to the state siting guidance. But
Not
up
putting
to
bunks
20,
either?
24, they say up to 24.9.
Okay.
So
So it was just this one sentence or this one 2.1B that kind of like seemed to me that we're not putting any bumps in the road because we're saying, yes, you have the ability to do whatever you want.
I think that that's what this
Okay.
that's what this draft acknowledges.
Right. Well, I
And
think
with that
that we need
language.
to not roll over.
Well, you're welcome to your opinion.
Right, no, and right, and that's what I'm sharing.
No, that's fine. Go ahead.
Oh, go ahead.
So if any of these signs are returned to me, I'll bring them to your house. Is that all right? with
That would
you?
be fine. Yeah, yeah.
And the reason the Currys aren't here tonight, they're chopping corn.
Mhm.
And Nap's got a new baby in the family. He's been in the hospital for a week, so they're pretty busy too.
No, that's fine. That's fine.
One thing I will say is Currys are very upset because whoever took the sign down threw it out in the cornfield with a metal attachment on it. That ends up in a chopper and shuts it down, a $750,000 chopper.
Hmm.
It's gonna be a big problem. When the cows eats it, they gotta use their.
Right. No, people shouldn't be destructive like that. They shouldn't be throwing signs out in cornfields or anything like that.
Well, we did put it on the Facebook page, and maybe it would be a good idea that you guys do too. Because maybe it's not your people doing it, maybe it's somebody else, but it needs to stop. We don't have time to chase this shit.
I know at the Four Corners, there is space to put signs, and our signs have been pulled up and put face down, and
Well, there'll be cameras on some of ours.
they're right
We
next to
can
your
figure that
signs,
out.
so it should be open,
Absolutely.
open and available, for both parties to do that.
That's that spot, but the rest of the spots where these came from, they do
Mhm.
not have permission,
Okay.
and they won't get permission.
Okay.
That space on the corner, is that state land or
Right in
fire
front of-
department land? Who owns it?
Well, there's space that we have the Preble marquee on, that we give messages for coming
Right,
events.
where it's the fire department marquee thing, right?
It's the fire department. Well,
No,
Well, it
it's-
doesn't
it's-
say
it's
fire
really
department on the sign.
it's the
think.
states.
Betty Ann, you wanna say something?
It is the states. It's not the fire department.
Okay.
State owns it,
Yes.
So no one can put signs in there
or everyone can.
Well, we do
Do we
put,
know?
traditionally, we have put signs there.
because we have permission from everyone on the corner.
But what's the rule or the law? Can you put signs on state
Not
land?
according to that.
And if you can't, then no sign should be there.
They've always put them there.
We've always put signs on that one side where the marquee is. And it's always been a place that anybody could put a sign.
We had to, we can call the board of elections to see what they say. I don't know, I mean,
But these sign wars, it's kind of crazy.
Yep.
I mean,
Sure is.
It's not crazy.
I mean,
You ask
I mean,
permission, you put a sign
it's
up.
crazy to
You-
be destructive.
Your signs came down because they didn't have permission. That's why they're there. That's why they're in that box. That's why the names are on them where they came from.
Don, you want to say something?
No, sir.
Okay, okay. Don just doesn't want this conversation to get too heated. Yes?
Yeah, Len Foster.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if I'm gonna word this right, but from the few years I've been listening to the horror stories of Palmer, the language that you're drafting, Palmer seems to get their way with the state anytime they want. Is there anything in that language that would preclude Palmer from coming in and say, we were talking about maybe 12 megawatts, we want to go to 30?
Well, I think
Once
the
it goes
point,
to 30, it goes to state jurisdiction because we got no say. And could they do that?
I think that's the point of how Peter and the board designed it. I think it's a recognition that if a company wants to make the project big enough, they take it out of the local hands. If it's it's 25 megawatts or more, it's out of local hands for all intents and purposes.
And if I may, if the current language of prohibiting what we're calling large scale systems is 10 megawatts or 15.
Right.
We expressly prohibit it in town of Preble in any district. Okay. Does that stop Palmer to saying we want to put 30 megawatts in town of Preble? No, this current legislation does not say that. Does not prohibit that.
Any other questions? Okay, so let's get this sign thing cleared up. I think we're on the road to doing that. Okay, if there's no more questions, then we need a motion to adjourn.
And make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Carried. Okay.
Did you talk to Gina, or is this, I want to turn that off? Do you want me to follow up with Gina?